like other rappers do this, but like he's really mastered like that extended metaphor, like, cause it'll be one or two lines that you're like, okay, that connects. And then you go to the next, oh, he's still going on this same trend here. And so like.
Dead End Hip Hop album review, Mick Jenkins, The Patience. Now, here's the thing, man. Look, we go way back with Mick Jenkins. 9 years ago, we reviewed The Waters. We also reviewed the Circus album 3 years ago. 6 years ago, we did the Healing Component. And just about a year ago, we did Elephant in the Room. I was not on that review. But we're here today. Mick Jenkins, The Patience. Obviously, we definitely have a history, you know what I'm saying, with Mick Jenkins' music. And I could honestly say I really liked this one. I really liked how Mick sounded on this. Very somber, right? Oh yeah, you know what? You're 100% right. He's one of the homies.
He does not.
He does not look like you.
Hey, what up, y'all?
It was cool. Troy, it was cool. Beezy 430.
Oh man,
You know
look,
what I mean?
I forgot we had a guest because he fits right in. He's been on Dead End Hip Hop multiple times. He was also on the fuck was that? The Bravo mixtape. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like,
the joint.
You know what I'm saying? Adon Bean is extended Dead End Hip Hop family. So my bad. You know what I'm saying? You know how like when you got people coming over the house, you be like, man, go in the fridge. He go in the fridge, bro. He don't need to ask no permission.
Just call you brother, man.
He did. Making a sandwich flow. Sandwiches.
It flow. All right, so look, back into the review. Really like this project. Really love how Mick sounded. I also like the soundscape that he went over. You know what I'm saying? Like it was very, 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 very somber. He was getting a lot off of his chest. Like a lot of feelings and emotions he was able to just exude that. Like one of the joints was, hold on, I'm not good with names. One of my favorite people with Freddie Gibbs, Show and Tell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one right there. I thought it was very interesting how he's talking about how a lot of things that people say is not really how they live or, how they really portray. Guapanese was another one. I thought that was very interesting. Again, just the exterior versus what the interior or, what's on the inside of a person, like the difference of that. But yeah, overall, man, I like it. I'm gonna just keep it short.
You think it was interesting that he had Freddie Gibbs and Benny the Butcher back to back?
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
I thought about that.
I thought about that on the way here, and I was like, did he like let Freddie know that Benny was gonna be on it? Did he tell Benny that Freddie was gonna be on it?
Check, man. I don't think they're gonna turn out a check.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Because are they still beefing? Or I don't even know.
They're not cool.
Okay.
Like it's not like a active beef. Like I don't fuck with you. This that. They really haven't talked about it like that. But I don't think they'll ever make music together again.
You confused me with one of your words. You said somber. And I didn't feel somber from this. I felt like
the soundscape.
I felt aggressive. Like he felt like he was like. I haven't heard him like this in a minute because it's always like. I guess some of the other stuff is actually somber, like Piece of a Man, like Piece of a Man. Somber. Yeah, he's usually somber, but here he wasn't. He was just like very aggressive, very like in your face, saying what he wanted to say. His voice was elevated in another way. Like I don't know, I really liked that. Like it was very different. When he came out, I was like, oh hell yeah, this I like this. I like somber Mick Jenkins too, but I really like what he was doing here.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you with Mick himself, 100%, especially on Pasta. Pasta's one of my favorite joints on here.
That beat crazy.
Yes, the beat's crazy. He's hella aggressive. I don't know. I guess like how the music makes me feel is like it's dark. Like it's
dark.
Yeah, dark is
dark.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. Maybe I'm not using the right words, but I'm just kind of going off of how it made me feel. Like the soundscape itself just made me feel somber.
I get you. If you say it's dark, I get you saying somber. With dark, I get that. But that's not my first.
I feel
thing you. I heard. I hear aggressive, which is interesting because we just did No Name. And No Name from Chicago too, right? If I'm not mistaken. So she was very aggressive and stuff on her album. So I thought that was very interesting that he had a similar approach. And I definitely like the Freddie Gibbs, Benny feature. I mean, he brought elite artists on here. I thought that was dope. You know, because Steel sharpens steel, in my opinion. So I thought that was interesting that he was bringing people like that on the track. Wow, you made a face though.
I like both of them. I don't think they brought elite verses.
Okay. Well, what I will say is I feel like he brought elite MCs. I normally like Freddie. I normally like Benny.
Sure.
And Jid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I thought that was interesting that he brought some very, like I said, I feel like elite features in my opinion. Yeah.
You know, I usually really like Freddie Gibbs, and I usually really like Benny the Butcher. I'm not saying they gave whack verses by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
It's just
You think their status is elite, but not what they actually came to the table with. I got you.
That's how I feel. Like, well, even though I don't know if I would say that Gibbs and Benny are elite rappers, but I would definitely say that like they're in that kind of elite status of people where it's like you would assume that they come with a large check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when I heard both of those verses, when I heard Freddie's verse, I was like, okay, that's Freddie. Cool. When I heard Benny's verse, I was like, okay, well, that's Benny. But no disrespect to either one of them, Mick killed them on both songs.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So that was kind of surprising. I'm not really used to that.
Right. And that's what I was getting to. I was getting to he brought these MCs to the table to basically outshine them. So I thought that was interesting.
I definitely feel what you're saying, Myke, in terms of Freddie. Like, Freddie sounded very comfortable. Like, this was his pocket. Like, he didn't go above and beyond on this. Like, he fit in, and Mick definitely killed them. Benny was underwhelming to me. Benny's feature was underwhelming.
Was it the Trump verse? Was it the Trump shout
out? That Trump
He probably
line
liked that.
He got his red shirt on.
I definitely thought that was interesting after his tweet.
Yeah. The Trump line was what? He just moved, or he got connections like Trump or something like that. Like, so it wasn't like
I'm trapping in red states. Yeah. Like
It was definitely a pro-Trump thing.
I'm not saying it
It's
wasn't.
just wild. Like in
It is
2023.
wild. It is wild.
Let me,
Benny.
like, because you go back to like older hip hop and like there's tons of Trump references. Like,
Yes.
about
Yes.
like it's
Yes. Yeah.
definitely a bunch of like
Right.
I'm making moves like Trump, all of that. But like 2023 to be
That's
like
weird.
It don't
now.
hit the same. It don't hit the
real?
same.
MAGA coming, nigga.
Right.
Like,
They say the bigot coming, nigga.
it don't work, bro.
Right. Nah, you can't do that.
And what was interesting too, I felt like that beat was the one that was way different than everything else on here. Like, it felt Griselda-esque.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Mick kind of changed for him, and then it's like, okay, I gave you your wheelhouse and you didn't like go above and beyond. Like, it was interesting.
Yeah.
But Ken, you wanted to talk about Vic Mensa. How'd you feel about Vic?
No, I was just making an observation. That's all.
Oh, okay. That's
Go
how you
ahead and
do.
say what you want to say about Vic.
Oh no, I just was making an observation that y'all left him off when y'all were talking about Alicia.
So I will be honest, if you're trying to call us out, I will be honest.
I'm not calling you out. I'm just
Yes, you are.
I'm just interested that everybody here.
He's like, you called yourself out.
Nobody said Vic.
I mean, it was towards the bottom. That's why, you know what
He
I'm
the
saying?
random feature.
That was really random, but I
It
mean,
was a random.
his
He's
first
the only
was
other
Chicago.
Chicago nigga. He's the only other
Yeah, I
didn't think
Chicago
about
dude.
that.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's not that
I
random.
didn't think about that. Yeah,
He came up with all of them, like Chance. And
That makes sense.
No
That's
name,
true.
all of them. So
his verse was dope though.
his verse
yeah,
was
his
verse
super
was
fire.
Really
was
fucking
good.
dope. Even if he's not technically an elite MC, he definitely gave them an elite feature.
As far as
That's what was
status.
interesting. That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah.
As
I
far
just
as
wanna make-
status,
I wanna
he's
make that
definitely
clear,
a
yeah.
great rapper. But nah, his verse was very good. I don't know that I cared for the song that much.
I got
to
you.
be totally honest, but his verse was nice.
I know we didn't talk too much about Jid, but this is one of those songs, one of those features that's like,
Jesus.
I still don't understand why he's not bigger than what he is. Like, it does not matter the subject matter, the beat, whatever you want to do, Jid fucking comes to perform. You know what I'm saying? Every fucking time.
Ask him, 'cause he got something to say. I could tell.
No, Jid is
breathed real hard.
Oh, my
I thought you.
Yeah, I heard it too.
I was like, oh, he about to get Feefo. Let me go ahead and fall back real quick.
I forgot, man.
You heard
Y'all
it
be-
too?
I heard it too. It was like he was loading up. Like,
Yeah, man. Yep, like anime.
right.
Jid is, I'm right there with you. JID is fire. If you want to get to hot takes though, like I am not, like Myke knows this. I'll tell y'all that I am not a Freddie Gibbs fan. Like 100%. Like I think that dude is hella overrated. Like as a rapper, like if we can go bar for bar.
How the fuck
if
you
you would
sitting
like.
next to me? How the fuck you sitting next to me? What the hell going on?
I literally think he gets overrated because he is one of the gangster rappers who is wise enough to realize that Madlib and Alchemist are dope. He was like the first person to do this from this lane. And so we're like, damn, ain't he dope as an MC? And he's fine. He's fine. Gangsta Gibbs, if you listening, you are fine as a rapper. But like, it's not crazy. It's not crazy.
I wasn't expecting him to actually say this. He's told me this a bunch of times.
Because I keep trying to like hear what y'all hear. And I'm like, how do y'all hear? How do you praise JID like that and then praise Freddie Gibbs to the same extent?
Yeah.
Like y'all listening to the same person.
Well, you gonna be on the next Freddie Gibbs project.
100%. Yeah. And if he's fire, I'll be like, yo, he's fire. Like crazy.
For me, it's more style. Like
is.
It's more style.
I will
it's
not even argue with you there.
It's
He has a dope ass voice, his voice and that energy. I respect. I just don't tell me the bars are what they are. That's my problem. You can tell me everything else. You can say like I just believe him because believability is a factor. But don't tell me the bars are what it is. Come on, y'all. Like, what are we doing? Sorry, I'm cool with all y'all, but I talk to Myke pretty often, and like. I'll always just be like, oh, did y'all review this or did y'all review that? And like, this was one that I think wherever y'all schedules fell at, y'all just didn't get to it timely wise. And I was like, oh, I happen to know, like I've listened to this a lot. And so, yeah, you know, I love the project. Like, I think it's what y'all said, like he had an edge to him that like, he can go this space, but it was like extra on this, certainly on like Pasta, like I was good Lord. And I just think as an MC, like other rappers do this, but like he's really mastered like that extended metaphor, like because it'll be one or two lines that you're like, okay, that connects, and then you go to the next. Oh, he's still going on this same trend here, and so like he was just impressive from the outset. Just Michelin star, like it had that like that Ahmad Jamal Swaziland sample that high stakes is high. It was the same sample that De La used for that, and he still made it sound fresh. And yeah, and then honestly, the features up top, like so yes, the Freddie joint, I was like, I'm gonna hear it out. It was fine. I got to the Benny joint. I was like, again, I was with you. I was like, they're fine verses. Like it wasn't like I'm with you. It was like elite status. But like the verse wasn't like overwhelming. Smoke Break, he had put that out early. Like that was like the first joint he had put out. So I knew that was fire. And then, yeah, he just, Roy G. Biv, when he just the color schemes that he runs through there, like, bruh, he's insane.
Did you get it before the RGB thing? Because I didn't get it until I was driving over here.
Oh no, I did. Yeah. So that's only because that's how I learned it. That's how I learned those colors or whatever.
The song is called Roy G. Biv.
Yes.
So
RGB.
Roy G. Biv RGB colors.
I didn't get that.
Oh, I don't think you
Until
got
you
it.
just
What do you
said
mean?
RGB is like a
red,
color.
green, blue.
That's like art shit.
Yeah.
What are you talking? Red, orange, yellow, green.
Not red,
Blue.
red, green, blue is the primary colors.
Right.
I just knew Roy G. Biv as the color spectrum, and so that's how I red, orange, yellow,
Gotcha.
gree, blue,
Right.
violet, indigo. Yeah, so I just knew it was going to be about colors as soon as I saw Roy G. Biv. When he's like Roll Tide, Bama, Auburn, like he just starts to play through. It was crazy, like nuts. So yeah.
And you met him before, right?
Few times, yeah. Worked on some stuff. So yeah.
That's what I thought.
That's right.
Yeah.
With Michelin star, like out the gate, that's a scheme that could get really corny really fast. Making the entire thing about cooking. That I mean, that could get really whack. But he was able to do it so well. And when Rod talks about aggression, I agree. Coming out the gate, I can't tell you the last time I've heard Mick Jenkins this aggressive. I don't know who pissed him off, but I hope he's in a good space. But I like this style of rapping. When he said like a nigga cooking, now I'm line cooking, now I'm sous chefing.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay, Mick.
Yeah.
There must be something in the water in Chicago.
Don't do that. That's so lame.
I was talking about, I was connecting him and No Name.
Oh, I thought you're making the waters.
I wasn't.
It wasn't, but it was funny that you thought he was.
You see how little he think of you?
Oh, no!
He's like, don't you dare do that shit.
He was smirking, so I thought he was making a whack-ass joke.
I was just saying,
Something in the waters.
The water's water. Some of the water's water.
All that jazz.
Just from listening to the album, it sounds like, and I wish I can remember what song it was. I should have took notes, but there was a song on here where he was talking about something like, I don't give a fuck about y'all's lists or something like that. I'm gonna burn it down from each end. It sounds like he feels underrated or maybe underappreciated as an MC.
Was that like the continuation of load the magazines where the real journalists at, and then he keeps going like, because the magazines was the gun connect. Like he just, bro.
I think that might be what it is, because Mick Jenkins has been putting out incredible albums for a long time, and I'm a big example of this. I think people don't give him enough respect as being a dope ass MC. I know when we review his albums, I'm always like, I love this. He's never in my top 10s.
Yeah,
because I don't return to him enough, I think.
do you think that's the reason why he went to go get those bigger names than him, like Freddie, to try to out-rap them?
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think he knew ahead of time that he could out-rap.
He doesn't come across as that type of guy.
Nah, yeah.
No, I think he.
You think he did do that?
I don't know if that's why he did it, but I definitely think he thinks he can out-rap.
Yes. Oh, I believe that. Oh, okay.
I was just,
I believe that part.
And
But
he's right.
trying to go get high profile or elite status rappers to
Well, I'm just saying, like looking back, like
boost his profile. I don't know.
I would more buy that than I'm gonna go get these dudes knowing I'm gonna immediately out rap them. You would say he would know that Freddie Gibbs would turn in a mediocre verse, but did he know that Freddie Gibbs wasn't gonna come with his A game? Did he know that Benny may not come with his? I don't know. But just like looking at like some of the features on his other projects, like he had Ghostface, he had Earth Gang, but you know, to me, Ghostface and Bad Bad Not Good are probably like the other highest profile people outside of Freddie, Benny, and Jid. And then he had them 1, 2, and 3. Like, you could be right. You could be
know,
right.
Maybe it's less of like the out rapping part, but just having them.
Yeah, just having
Right,
them.
I would buy that. Yeah.
Yes, having that name, but then putting in the performance he did is kind of like,
I feel you.
I'm here, and I'm like, you have to pay attention to me
Because look what I just did.
Look at what I just did with
on
these
tracks
guys.
with your favorite
Exactly.
rappers. Not that he destroyed them. But he definitely did his thing.
he stood out.
You were saying earlier you hope he's in a good place, but he says that, I want to say at the end, like he feels like he's in the best place of his life.
I was kind of joking. I didn't want to make it sound like I was saying that he's
I got you.
fucked up in the head or something.
Nah. I can't remember the actual quote, but he said something like that.
Because he kind of ended it with just a talking thing, which
Right.
I'm not crazy about. Like he did that all throughout the healing component, which I did not like that part of that record. But it's funny. I was thinking about this on the way over because, like, I'll just say this: Mick is someone who, like, I didn't when like the Waters came out, all of that. I didn't initially go crazy over hearing that. I remember Ken, you were saying the first time I heard him that I was like, oh, this is impressive, was the Drowning Bad Bad Not Good joint. Like, and I was just like, oh, this is.
And that's when I thought he would like it on that particular song. I was like, Ken, listen to this. I think you'll actually
And
like
that
this
actually
one.
was something I was like, oh, this is fire. And so then I listened to the healing component and I liked it, but it's kind of similar to like, Myke, when we talk about atmosphere, like Seven Travels was the record that I really listened to for the first one. And most of the people most atmosphere fans at that time didn't like that record.
Right.
And I feel like the healing component, most Mick Jenkins fans were not crazy about that. They were like, yo, the Waters, like all that stuff. And so it wasn't until going back to that stuff that I was like, okay, no, I get it now. Like it connected to me. But, and I loved Elephant in the Room, the last record, because like Gucci tried to tell me. That was crazy. Scottie Pippen was crazy. Like there was some joints, but this is also short too. Like it's 27 minutes.
Perfect.
Elephant joint was 34 minutes. Like he's managed to make like short albums feel complete, which is crazy.
That's not an easy feat at all.
I think he's annoyed with people not talking about him like that. I think he is. Because like on Sitting Ducks, he says that shit about rappers having a margarine message. It don't matter if it's butter as long as it spreads. Like, I mean, which is an amazing line, but I kind of got the feeling from this that he's just kind of tired of being underrated, And I could get it. He puts a lot of work into his projects, and for people to not give him the praise for him, even this one, people aren't talking about it. And on the like when he said I'm jaywalking on the Autobahn, he's like that's he has so many dope ass lines on here.
Niggas stepping over their own feet. They not bow-legged. Toy Stories, we've been toe tagging, Monsters Inc. He got the dough stacking, 2 Sports, nigga, Bo Jackson. Like he just, he's a problem. Like he's a problem.
Going back to like your thought, because I 100% agree, right? And I talked about it with Jid. Like I don't understand. Like what does Mick have to do to garner that respect? Because he's put out amazing quality albums from the get-go.
Honestly, and he says that on here, journalists aren't covering him like that.
He's popular, but not
how popular. Yeah,
because when he played Atlanta, he sold out.
Yeah,
so
he's
clearly popular.
Yeah.
But he's like a weird popular. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get you, and I think
like a cult following type of situation.
Yeah. Strong. And I think I don't know. I think that may be why he took a different approach with this one. Something a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more upbeat, a little bit something that'll catch more people's attention that like that sort of music, and still deliver quality verses as well, because it's completely different than anything that he's ever done. He's had these type of songs here and there on other projects, but there's him doing this style. And then I think about on the Mop, when he was talking about it takes time for artists to kind of form. And, as I was listening to this, because I liked it off rip. And, me and Mick Jenkins, it's like, you never know.
Right.
So, but yeah, off rip, I like this. And I was like, and I sent it to y'all because I don't think we've covered him in a while. Now it was because I liked it, because I didn't even know at that time. It was just like, oh, Mick Jenkins dropped something. And I know everybody likes it.
I didn't even know. He's like one of my favorite MCs. I didn't even realize
it just dropped randomly.
Yeah,
I didn't even know. It was Friday. I was just scrolling and see what dropped. And I was like, oh, shit. So when I was sitting in the pickup line, I played it on. I was like, this Mick Jenkins? What the fuck going on here? And it was like every song after song after song after song. I was like, wow, this is interesting. Did you catch your boy, the William Dafoe line?
I did. I forgot what he said, but I did catch the
Web
William
Alive
Dafoe
like William
What'd he say?
Web Alive.
Web Alive like William Dafoe,
yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, why is he rapping like this all of a sudden? And the more I listen to it, I'm trying to figure it out, and I think it may be part of what's in that last song when he was like, it just takes a while for artists to perform. You have to be patient with them. So the question I have for myself is like, was this always there? Was he working on it? Is he trying? I don't know.
Me and Don was talking about like his last project is what got him out of his deal, and now he's an independent artist. So this is his first independent joint where he could just do whatever the fuck he wants to do. So that.
Why wouldn't you do more of this earlier?
Well, maybe because the label didn't want him to.
And maybe the label is what pissed him off and made him want to make this like this. I don't know. I mean,
this really good.
I don't know. I got to talk to him maybe a year or so ago, and he was saying like he was just being sustained by like guest features and stuff like that. And he was like, but he's like, this next project is like mine. You know what I mean? And so I don't know reasoning either. I do think the cult following piece, or like I think his fans are fervent. I think all of the fans are like, he should be, more people should be talking about him. He should have more of a following. And I feel like it's just one of those things where like the light was on Chicago, or is on, however we want to view it, but like he's never been the main one, as the up and comer. Like obviously Chance had a huge moment, whatever. And I mean, I feel like even people check Saba even to some degree even more than Mick does. I just feel like Mick gets forgotten for whatever reason.
It's really weird.
And he raps like, nigga, you ain't never about to forget me again.
Right.
not after this.
I'm gonna be in your dreams.
Does anybody have 2004? Is that grayed out for
I was
everybody?
gonna ask you that too. It wasn't on Spotify.
It was originally on mine. It was originally, because you can go to YouTube and listen to it, and if you
Apple
listen
Music.
to it, it's
very different from the rest of this.
yeah. So I kind of was wondering like, who did he? Because I think a lot of people also were like, well, not a lot of people, let me not say that, but I did. There's like a Reddit forum or something like, this is the worst song on the project.
Interesting.
It does
I can
sound
see that. I
different
can
than
see
everything
that.
else.
It is. It's
I've been down with my since
Yeah,
old
like-
foe, nigga.
Yeah.
it's the bouncy.
It's kind of
one.
weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
I didn't hate it, but
I didn't hate it either.
yeah.
I'm not mad that it's not on here, is what I'm saying. It's not that bad, but it's not like something I would return to. That might be a skippable, honestly, if it was still on here.
Mick, if you watching, look, bro, I feel you. I don't know why you don't get the respect you deserve, because from the beginning, ever since we've been covering you almost 10 years ago now, you haven't had no misses, bro. You haven't had no misses when you feature on other people's shit. Like, I don't get it, but this is another great project. Definitely felt the aggression on here. I love you. You know what I'm saying? And next time you drop something, I'm gonna be listening to it. So,
healing component, bro.
4-3.
I love you.
shit. I love you as an artist, bro. Man, hey,
I'm giving you the love.
I'm trying to embrace you.
Spread love, bro. Spread love.
Let you know, bro.
Complete me.
Look, you love that man.
I'm just trying to let you know, bro.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I got love for you
I've
as
been
an
looking for
artist,
you
man.
all my life. I didn't know.
I got love
Me
for
at
you,
the
my
altar
boy.
in your white dress. No younger. You might as well do it.
When you feel, underrated or underappreciated, I understand what that means. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to let you know you got another one in your corner, bro. That's it.
That's sweet.
Mick Jenkins, if you're watching, man, look, you've seen the reviews, man. I've always been a huge fan. You've always made my top 5s, my top 10s every year, man. I'm always like, if you're dropping a project, more than likely it's going to be in my top 10, top 5 of the year. I like somber you. I like introspective you. Not saying you wasn't here, but I think the aggressiveness on this one just like, man, really stood out, and I really enjoyed that. We just did what's in my rotation, and this was definitely one of the projects that was in my rotation. So yeah, man, it's already gonna be somewhere in that list for me by the end of the year, I'm sure. I respect it. I've always respected you. I wish other people did as well. We know you have like a strong like kind of cult following, but I wish and hope that more people realize who Mick Jenkins is and find your music, man. It's really good. So yeah, man. Thanks for another dope project. I will be listening to this for the remainder of the year.
Mick Jenkins, if you're watching, this was good, man. I liked it on first listen, and I love the different style, the versatility, the variety that you've shown me as an artist. That you're just not, one-dimensional in sound. When I compare this to some of the other projects that you put out. And I thought it was a really, really good effort. And I like the fact that, you don't take shit personal, bro. That it's all about the music, and you're let, my opinion of the music be what it is.
Mick Jenkins, if you're watching, this was a stellar project. I don't know who upset you and made you start rapping like this, or if you decided to do it on your own. Either way, I don't know what's been wrong with me. I've loved every project we reviewed, but for some reason, I don't return to them, and I don't know why. I really don't. I'm gonna change that. I've already listened to this project so many times. I love the aggression. I love the passion. I love the themes and the schemes that you're putting on here. And yeah, man, this is a stellar project, and I think you should be very proud, especially since this is your first album outside of your deal. You coming out the gate swinging, bro. So I am a fan. I already was, but I'm an actual legit fan now. So I promise you I'm going to return to this more. And like Rod said, I hope more people find your music. But it doesn't sound like you really need those people. It really doesn't. So I'm not exactly sure whose ear you're trying to get right now, but you got mine.
Mick Jenkins, if you're watching, listen, I echo everything that has already been said. This project was incredible. It was, all I can add to is just to say, like, I would say don't change any, like, keep doing what it is that you're doing, because it's a lane that is like, I don't know, you just own it. Like, you are incredibly gifted at MCing. I know that even in particular times when our paths are crossed, like, I always am trying to put people on to what you're doing. And I just think this was an extension of that. I think that even somewhere around like Pieces of a Man, I don't think I was super crazy about that. I thought it was dope, but I wasn't crazy about it. And I think like from that point forward, the Circus, Elephant in the Room, like in this, like you just kept like honing in and kind of turning up the volume on the things you do incredibly well. And I just want to encourage you to continue doing that. Yeah, and I just think that you've managed to build out a really fervent cult fan base that is getting larger and larger. And I will continue to bump this. And I also think like it's incredible what you're able to do under 30 minutes, like, because that's just, I've listened, I think that's part of the reasons why like I've listened to it so much is just because I before I realized it, I'm like, I'm at the end and I want to play it again, you know what I mean? And so just continue being dope. You don't need my permission to do that. So yeah, appreciate you.